Well, hello, everyone. Not a clickbaity title. We are seeing a crazy divergence between single family detached homes and condos in our Southern California marketplace. The question is, what does it mean? And perhaps even the better question is, what does it mean to you? Let's go ahead and get started. My name is Stephen Meade with Domicile real estate for people who love houses. And this is our Southern California housing market update for October 15th, 2024. Let's go ahead and get started with the stats. So first off, we're going to talk about our closed prices in that entry level segment, right? This is the segment that most of you are watching for, and this is our entry level housing market specific update for you. I know I said whole housing market. I forgot which week we're on, but we are focusing on that entry level into the market. So for running our stats, how do we do that? Well, we take a look at what we think is an entry level property type. First, for that entry level single family home, which is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and then an entry level condo, which is that 2-bedroom, 2-bath configuration. And then we look at the first quartile of prices. So not the median, which would be the halfway between the least expensive and the most expensive, but the first quartile, which is halfway between the cheapest and the middle. And that provides pretty much a good proxy for that entry level end of the market. And what do we see here? When we're going to look at closed prices, we actually see a little bit of a bounce back and a little bit of a bounce back, or an even bigger one here on our condo market. But I want to caution you a little bit, right? These closed prices are based on data. They're based on contracts that were 4 to 6 weeks ago. Now, what was true 4 to 6 weeks ago? Well, honestly, the rates were actually a bit lower than they are. Last week's job reports did cause a jump up in interest rates, and I think we are seeing that amplified in that condo market. That is my thesis. So if we look at our total monthly payment, right, that's really where we see this hitting home. We've jumped up about $170 on our entry-level single-family home, and we have jumped up a whopping $400 on our entry-level condo. And I remember this is based on a payment of 5% down. It includes mortgage insurance, taxes, and HOA fee. This is really meant to represent a true entry-level total housing payment. Now, you might be asking, how much money do we need in our household if we have no other debt? So what's the minimum amount we would need to qualify for this? So for our entry-level single-family home in LA and Orange counties, we're seeing that at just under $152,000 and just over $117,000 for our entry-level condo. Now we're getting into the meat of it, right? We are in the middle of October, heading towards an election year. And what are we seeing? We're actually seeing some of these numbers really are in line with what we've been seeing over the last couple of months, since about the middle of the year. We see our 14-day absorption rate for our entry-level single-family home is at 76%. That's really kind of in line with where it's been kind of fluctuating in this range. And we've seen the entry-level condo drop to 55%, right? That is particularly concerning. You will see that there is a lot of volatility there. And in fact, a month ago, we were at 51% on the condos. But what does this tell us? Something that really has not necessarily been true the last few years, but has been historically true. And that is that the condo market tends to be a bit weaker than the single family home market. It always has been. For the most part, it's only in recent years when we've been seeing them track much more closely together. If we look at our total inventory, again, we have a bit of a tale of two markets. We've got our entry-level single-family home market where inventory has completely leveled out and, in fact, even dropped a little bit from a peak, especially if you compare that with last year where it was still rising this time of year. Then we look at our entry-level condo market inventory. We see that inventory number is rising, whereas last year it was flat. So again, we're seeing a real divergence between that entry-level condo market and that entry-level single-family home market. Now, if we look at our 14-day still active percentage, what we're looking at here is we're pretty much in that zone that we've seen really since about July or so. And that's a market that is not hyper competitive or not on the same level as it once was, but we're also in a market that looks surprisingly similar to what it looked like last year at this time in terms of competition level. Remember, for this graph, lower is a more competitive market. And then if we look at our weak supply of homes, right, this is really the one that gives me a lot of pause on that condo market and why I have some real concerns. So if we look at our single family home market, and by the way, this is weak supply of homes. So instead of an absolute number of inventory, this is a relative number of inventory. Like if no new homes came on the market, how many weeks could we go before we ran out of homes based on our current rate of homes going into escrow? You follow? So what we see here is we're just hovering in that mid sevens kind of zone for our entry level single family homes, higher than it's been in the past, but well in line with pretty much where we were at this point last year. But look at these numbers for condos. What we saw is it just jumped through the roof towards 15 weeks. What does that tell me? It tells me that the condo market has really taken a step back. Buyers have really stopped purchasing that condo inventory. They've taken a pause. And why do we think that might be, right? Well, I do think that condo buyers tend to be quite a bit more sensitive to interest rate than single family home buyers in general. I think those condo buyers are more likely to be single income. They're more likely to be just kind of scraping by to qualify. Anyhow, that's my theory on why that condo market is looking a bit softer. Now, the other way to look at this, right, if you're a first-time home buyer out there is, oh my gosh, condos are on sale. You are going to come across some desperate sellers. Things you want to look for. You want to look for those condo sellers where it even says this transaction is contingent upon the sellers finding another property. Why? If they have found that other property, they're going to make a deal to sell that condo. It might not be the deal they wanted, but it could be a great deal for you. Anyhow, that's all I've got for you for your first-time home buyer or entry-level home buyers out there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And once again, questions and comments, we love them as always, and we'll see you again real soon.